Congratulations on completing all the text completion modules. Before you move on to the practice questions, let's take a moment to review everything we've learned. Text completion questions make up approximately 1/4 of the verbal questions on the GRE. These questions omit one or more words that are essential to the meaning of the sentence or passage. Your task is to use the remaining words to determine which of the answer choices best completes the text in a way that is logically, grammatically, and stylistically coherent. Text completion questions can have 1, 2, or 3 blanks. If there's only 1 blank, there will be 5 answer choices. If there are 2 or 3 blanks, each blank will have 3 answer choices. The answers for multiple blanks are chosen independently, which means eliminating an answer for one blank will not automatically eliminate any of the answers for the other blank or blanks. 2 and 3 blank text completion questions may have up to 5 sentences in the passage. However, we have to correctly answer all blanks in order to receive credit. There is no partial credit. The general strategy is to read the whole sentence and identify the words or phrases that describe the blank, and the relationship words and phrases that indicate whether the descriptions work with the blank or against it. Then, use that information to come up with a prediction for the answer. Your prediction should be as close as possible to the words used in the passage, and sometimes you can just copy words right out of the passage to use as your prediction. Write that prediction down so that you can stay focused, not fall for trap answers, and not have to duplicate work you already did if you decide to mark a particular question to come back to later on. Finally, examine the answer choices to find a word that matches your prediction. Write down the letters of the answers on your scratch paper so you can cross off answers you know do not match and indicate those which you'd like to take a closer look at. When answering 2 and 3 blank questions, remember that the first blank may not be the easiest one to predict and answer. One answer can sometimes add information to the passage that makes the description for the other blank easier to identify. Be sure to read the whole passage and then decide where to start. Also, when the blanks occur at the beginning of the sentence or passage, reading the passage in reverse order can sometimes help you identify the descriptive phrases more easily. Sometimes, a blank may be supported by more than one descriptive word, but there will only be one clear answer. With long and winding sentences, you may need to use some grammar knowledge to break the sentence down and take away supplemental clauses so that you can accurately use descriptive phrases and relationship words. Finally, you should put all your answers into context and read the sentence one final time to make certain you have the correct answer. You may want to take that step after you've had the chance to work on a different question or two, just to clear your mind. Some 2 and 3 blank passages do not contain any descriptive words or phrases. In that case, there will only be relationship words that indicate whether the blanks work together or against each other. Don't spend a lot of time trying to predict the answer, because many times you simply cannot since there are no descriptive words. Go right to the answers and look for a pair or triplet that matches the relationship you need. If the answers are difficult, write down a simpler definition of each answer. Then, compare those definitions to see which have the relationship you need. The 2 and 3 blank questions can be quite time-consuming. Try to keep to a limit of about 30 seconds for the 1 blank text completion questions and 60 seconds for the 2 and 3 blank questions. Also, keep in mind that you can skip questions and return to them later, so just as with the rest of the test, you should never linger on questions that you aren't sure how to answer. If you really don't know any of the words in the answer choices, move on to the next question and use the review screen to come back to that question later. There are some good strategies for dealing with unfamiliar words. You can use prefixes, roots, parts of speech, and word association. These strategies do not always work, but they can give you a fighting chance with unfamiliar words. But even when the words are familiar, or even easy, don't get too comfortable. Be sure to always follow the general strategy. You may have to read carefully to understand the relationship between various sentences, and you may have to put more emphasis on the overall cohesion of the passage, rather than on specific descriptive words and phrases. Also, remember to be on the lookout for common traps. The GRE test writers know how you're likely to think about words, and they design wrong answers to look appealing. Beware of answers that are close but not quite supported by the descriptive phrases, do not logically fit, are the exact opposite of what is needed, contain phrases that are only half right, have multiple meanings, may or may not have the connotation we think they do, or are simply intended to look right. Here are a few extra tips to keep in mind. Watch for trigger words, although, and, but. Determine the polarity of replacement words. In other words, positive, negative, or neutral. Paraphrase complex sentences. If useful, reverse the order of words. Predict multiple words for each blank. And for multiple blanks, ensure that the chosen words work together to create a logical sentence. Well, that's it. Good luck with your practice questions. You can do it.